Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, break down some industry headlines, and most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I only speak to transportation professionals, you guys, on this show, as well as my twice-a-week long-form podcast, because I want to put the right information out there from the people who have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve. So you can take this information, apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. It is Friday. We have Q&A day today, you guys. This is my favorite day of the week. Well, every day is my favorite day of the week, but I love the Q&As that come in for all of this. It's a blast. I love being able to interact with people. And, you know, and as always, if you guys have any questions that come to your mind during the week, drop them in my DMs. And I'll answer them live on the Friday show, or you can just drop them in the live chat right now, and I will answer them on the show. But before we do anything, you guys, as always, gonna give a shout out to my friends over at VHub. You guys, VHubApp.com. Whether you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper, we all like making money. I'm pretty sure of that. And because that's what you get. You guys, you get paid to move these trailers, and that's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading these trailers out. So they got some trailers out in San Diego, California, 73 of them to be exact, needing to get out to Louisville, Kentucky. These are standard swing door drive-ins. They pay $1,170 per trailer. They also have some roll-up doors needing to go from San Diego out to Mount Crawford, Virginia, and you get $1,530 to do that. And then they also have some in Evansville, Wisconsin, needing to go to Mississauga, Ontario, paying $500 to do that. That's a standard drive-in. So hit them up, you guys, vhubapp.com. My man, Zach Lonergan and Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience. Just do me a favor. Let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Tracy St. Clair coming in hot over on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, Tracy. Carla Isted, good morning. Tony, I do not need drayage. Darnell, happy Friday from the commute home. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm sure you're really upset that you're leaving at 11:30 on a Friday, though. I get it. Catherine Whitehouse, good Friday morning to you. LinkedIn user, happy Friday. Sunny Sharma, good Friday morning. Orange shirt gang, let's fucking go on this great day. That's right, man. Got the orange shirt back on. Corey Buchan, what is up? Happy Friday. Let's fucking go. Tanvi, what is up? Happy Friday to you. Bill McIntyre, happy Friday. Stephen Title, good morning, y'all. It is Friday. Amen to that. Xavier, what is up, man? Good morning to you, sir. Freight Coach Nation coming in hot. Ooh, all right. It's Friday, like I said, you guys. Diesel still on the rise. It's up like fucking 65 cents a gallon over like the last month. It's wild. It's up to $4.38 a gallon though right now, you guys. Nationwide. I get all of that from the EIA. If you guys want to check that out, EIA.gov. You know, it's also one of those things, you know, I got some customers who do a line haul plus fuel surcharge, and it is it's been interesting to see all of that. And I do want to lead in. Obviously, there was some pretty big news that broke overnight last night. I'm not going to like really publicly comment on a lot of that right now. Obviously, Convoy, it looks like it's going up for sale, or you know, something's going to be happening out there. There's a bunch of stuff that got released last night. I'm not here to go any further than that. And I'll talk about it a little bit more on Monday. I want to find out some more information first, though. You know, frankly, because they've really been in the news a lot this year about layoffs and everything else, and now a lot of that is making sense on why it was. I want to say I mentioned something about it earlier this year, but I'd have to go through a bunch of my fucking videos to find out on why it was. Because I want to say earlier I said that they would sell, and it looks like that's what is going on. Yeah, Sonny, it is really going on right now. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to publicly comment because, I mean, if you want to see a bunch of people talking shit on it, just go through fucking LinkedIn right now. You guys go through LinkedIn and you can see everybody talking their shit in Monday morning quarterbacking everything right now. And again, I'm not going to go any further. I do, I'm going to have my man, Kevin Combs with Green Screens. He's coming out on Monday out there because he had put up a really accurate post this morning on how I feel as well about the situation. We're going to talk a little bit more on it. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's the breaking news. I feel for all the people out there who are, getting affected by this, but yeah, it's going to, yeah. Andrew Teal, I agree with that, sir. You can deconstruct respectfully. And that's what we're going to probably do on Monday's show. But we're going to talk about that because you don't need to kick anybody while they're down. And I don't want to do that because I truly believe in the power of words. And I don't want to manifest anything negatively towards my business or anything like that. I feel for the people out there. And I'm just trying to do my best on not jumping. What was that on Office Space? The jump to conclusions, Matt. I'm trying not to jump to any conclusions and put anything out there until I really research it a lot more. I'm trying not to be hashtag fake news on some shit. And I want to be better prepared for it. But I will do this. I saw a good post this morning by my buddy Chad Olson. He's with AVRL, and it started off with a quote about work ethic. And it was, some people are born on third base and go through life thinking they hit a triple. That was from B. Switzer. And then he goes on to say that he wasn't born on third base and he's worked tirelessly for everything he's achieved, 12 to 15-hour days. Many of you knew that, I didn't know this actually, that he grew up farming in Oregon. And that, when he was talking about and when he wasn't working, what, as activities that he was doing, and then work ethic has been burned into my soul. And this may be like public venting, but we need less quote unquote leaders raising money, scaling irresponsible, making large claims, and then delivering little to no value into the market. And this isn't a win for anybody. I really sensed, again, Chad's a friend of mine. I'm not speaking for Chad in this situation. I just really wanted to touch on the work ethic aspect of things because, a lot of stuff over the last couple of years, and this kind of led into my first question that I will answer here in a second, but work ethic is everything, right? And I think that, and this isn't just like a freight situation, is over the last couple of years, there's a lot of companies who raise a shitload of money, and that happens all the time. And I think that, when you can pay for a lot of exposure, it's, things seem better than they really are. And I think that, the hard work is always overlooked as a key component of a lot of success that you will accomplish in life. And that's the takeaway that I got from Chad's post the most is you got to work really fucking hard to get places, you guys, really fucking hard. And not everybody's going to get VC money. Not everybody is going to have a family member who can invest in their business. And a lot of times it comes through organic growth. It comes through a lot of fucking work, a lot of hard work. And it's a lot harder than you think it's going to be. But yeah, I'm going to get into the questions to kind of tie in a lot of that. Louis Montana, what is up? Felicia Gray, welcome. As Sunny Sharma says, welcome to the Orange Shirt Gangs. Felicia, we go live every weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central to break down industry headlines for the trucking industry. Andrew Teal said that the flip is, don't assume that someone on third base was born there either. People work hard, and just because it doesn't look the same way, doesn't mean it doesn't work. Good morning, John. Yeah, man, I agree with that because frankly, it's the first question I got is how do I stay motivated to put out content and, build stuff every single day? For starters, I'm not fucking motivated every single day. Very rarely am I motivated to do everything every single day. It's, I just like everybody, and I touch on this a lot, so I don't want to beat down this road too much on it, but I have to work really, really hard on discipline because I think motivation is complete and utter bullshit. I think it is a drug that people try and sell you because I know for a fact, and I know a lot of other people who are founders and work really hard for companies and everything else, that they're not motivated either, but they do the work every single day. Because, and then another thing with a lot of it is now, this wasn't always the way, and this is what I wanted to kind of tie in Andrew Teal's comment here, is I don't pay attention to a lot of other things that go on except for my business and my performance in my business. I can't control a lot of stuff. I can only control my actions. I can only control my efforts and my outreach and my results. I can't control anything else. I can't control the market. I can't control how other companies perform or not perform. I can't control if people hate what I say. I can't control what other people do for content. I can only control me. It didn't always, go that way, right? Because I'll admit it, for the first, probably 12 to 15 months that I was creating content, my intentions weren't what they are now. My intentions were what I think a lot of people do, is they just want to be famous. Like, I wanted to go viral, right? Like, why the fuck am I not going viral? Why am I not famous? Why am I not this and that and everything under the sun? And, I had finally, I think what happened is I think I had my first, like, after like, it was like 14 months of creating content every single day. It was probably my first post that like went big, right? Like, it got like, 100,000 plus things, forms of view. It got 100,000 views. It wasn't 100,000 forms of engagement. It got 100,000 views. And the next day I woke up and I was just like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it again. And it didn't happen. And I'm like, kind of beat myself up a little bit. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Why am I only like that? It was very self-serving. So I switched my perspective to, I just want to help one person every single day. And is, um, that is what keeps me going every single day. And the discipline that I've developed to put out content is I know there's somebody out there that's struggling just like me, right? Like, I struggle with sales. I struggle with confidence. I struggle with not getting the results as fast as, because I am a very fucking competitive person. If you can't tell, I am very fucking competitive, and it kills me to not get instant results, just like it does everybody, right? But I know that if I come in every single day and I put out content that can benefit somebody, or if I interview somebody on my podcast that puts it in a certain way that somebody can listen to and be like, damn, that makes all the sense in the world now, and then they see results from it. That's what is my main thing when it comes down to motivation, or to putting out content is I know I'm not the only motherfucker out there that struggles. But I also know that there is people out there that can put out a lot of valuable insight that can help others change their business and their life. And that's what I want to do. My goal is to help one person every single day. Some days I'm helping myself by putting out content, right? Because I got to look internally to, overcome and achieve a lot of stuff. But that's my main thing. That's what keeps me disciplined to show up every single day, is because I know that there's going to be somebody out there that can listen to this at some point in time, whether it's today or 5 years from now or whenever, that's going to see value in it and see a difference in their business. That's what it's all about. Like, I just want to see more of a community brought back to everything, right? Of like, how do we help others when others are in need, instead of what can I gain from this? And I think it's like a broader thing for our country as a whole right now is it's like, we got to realize that, like, your neighbors aren't your enemies. People who might have a different viewpoint aren't your enemies. We got to collectively start working together more as a society to get this great nation back on track, to what it was when I was growing up. And it all starts with every single one of us, right? Like, what can you do to help somebody else, right? And I think, like, because again, if you want to change, if you want things to change, if you want your business to change, that change has to start with you. And that's one thing that I go through a lot, right? Like, I've talked about this in the past, but the hardest conversation I ever had to have was the conversation I had with myself in the mirror on the fact that I wasn't where I should be and could have been in life because of me. Like, there was no outside circumstances that were stopping me. I was stopping me. So it's one of those things, is that realization. And then, like, it's just coming back with that open slate every single day of being disciplined to do those things that I don't want to do no matter what, because I know for a fact it's going to pay off in time. It sucks during the moment, but I know that it's putting the right intention out there and that the results are going to come in time, right? Like I talk about that, and that's where it is. Like that's the discipline that's motivated, is through doing real shit every single day, no matter what, and showing up every single day and putting in the work, because frankly, no one's going to do it for you. So that's how I stay disciplined. Is my vision, and my thing is as long as somebody else gets value in it today, I know that everything I'm working for will work itself out in the long run. So that's it. That's it for that question of how do I stay, quote unquote, motivated to put out content and build the business every single day. Stephen Title says it's easier to see organic growth after 12 years than in the first two. Everybody's looking for it in the first few. Amen to that, man. And that's why it's great to listen to a guy like Stephen here, who's built a real company. You guys, I've been to his facility here in Arizona. He's built a real business. There's a lot of other people out there that have built real businesses, and they all generally say the exact same thing that Steven is saying right here. It fucking takes a lot of time. Thomas Weeder and Freight Morton, y'all, happy Friday. Dylan Turner says, sphere of influence, a field or area in which an individual or an organization has power to affect events and developments. John Radvansky, quality content over quantity. Amen. Bill McIntyre, service to many leads to greatness. Amen to that, man. All right. Next question we got. How do I develop a carrier base? I don't want to play the spot market anymore. And I want to, sorry, I can barely read this own because I just copied and pasted. I don't want to play the spot market anymore. And I want to be prepared for the next market shift because I want to continue to service my customers. Great question. Actually, this is my favorite question because, like I've said before, and I will say it again, nobody's talking about relationships right now. And this is from the brokers, right? Because for the people that I'm connected with and I see out there, nobody's talking about relationships right now, but they were all screaming how we need relationships 18 months ago, 20 months ago, when it wasn't in their market. So it's ironic how everybody's quiet about it. And then again, watch it on your feeds, you guys. Freight Coach Adamas is calling it right now. When the market shifts again, because it will, it's inevitable, that's when everybody's going to be screaming, we need relationships. We need relationships. So I love that this individual who sent me this question is getting ahead of it because they understand that it's not always going to be this way. I believe that carriers and customers are 1A and 1B of importance to a broker, and they are completely interchangeable in my opinion. But here's what I do know as a broker. It is very hard to make money as a broker when you don't have carriers to haul the freight that your customers are giving you. I want to have a carrier base for every lane that I run. And this takes a lot of time. And this takes a mindset that I'm not always going to be the one winning. I think that as a broker, you need to be more focused on how do you get your customer and your carrier to win before you win. And somebody might argue that, and that's perfectly fine. They can argue that to their blue in the face, but this is what I'm doing because I want my carriers to want to work with me over any other broker, just like I want my customers to work with me over any other broker. And I know that the market's going to shift. I know eventually carriers are going to want more money on loads, and that's fine. I know how the market goes, but I am banking on the fact that since I'm overpaying them right now, that hopefully they undercharge me when they don't have to. And I say that with confidence because I've lived that for a long time and I've seen that happen before. I've seen carriers give me a massive rate reduction compared to the spot market because I overpaid them when I didn't really need to. And what that happens is you build up that synergy, right? And I've found that the more I work with somebody, the more I fight for them on loads and compensate them when they're on shipments for them, when things come about, that I know eventually it'll pay off. And I look at it like this. I've had plenty of shipments where You know what? The driver arrived at the receiver, and it turned out that that company wanted them to deliver it 30 miles down the road, or 20 miles or at a different facility. And I didn't ask them to do it for free. I paid them more money, even though I wasn't going to charge my customer more money for it because things happen, right? I want to compensate my carriers in those moments because I think that's the right thing to do. Whether, they were going to ask for it or not, I want to compensate them for that because I think that $150 in that moment is a small price to pay for the service that I receive and the future service that I can receive by doing the right thing. It's literally one of my core values in my business is do the right thing. And regardless, right? Because I'll make my money. I will make my money. I'm never going to stop selling. I'm going to continue to work new customers and new leads and everything. And I'm going to go back. But I've also identified that if I don't do things like that, it's really fucking hard to cover freight sometimes. So I want to find the carriers, the right carriers that are going to do the freight 12 months out of the year, no matter what. And I have found that when I have in-depth conversations with them on the front end, right? These are the requirements of when you haul freight for me and my customers. And it's not my customers coming to this with this. This is me. This is my standards that I set. But all of my drivers are very aware of this prior to even accepting the load. Because I do open deck and heavy haul freight, right? A lot of my stuff is tarped. So I need to know when my driver arrives on site. I need a picture of the load on the trailer without tarps, and then I need a picture of it tarped. A lot of it, insurance reasons, right? I want to protect my carriers just like I want to protect my customers in these moments. And photos are a great tool to have. And then I also want the communication that comes along with it as well, right? That, hey, we're here on site. Boom, here's the photos. Hey, we've left. Hey, we're on site at the receiver. Hey, we're done. Here's the POD. It's all done. And again, this is what happened on a load that I'm doing this morning. Because again, you guys, I'm living the life. I'm building the stuff up. That we sent over the rate confirmation to them, and they said, got it. And I'm like, confirmed. I'm like, what is your ETA to the shipper? I just want to give them a heads up. They said 45 minutes. I said, perfect. I'm like, if you could send me some photos like we had spoken of when you're loaded, that would be appreciated. Then once you are loaded, I will notify the receiver of your ETA. Perfect. I'll send the photos. Guess what happened? Got a text message 45 minutes later. Hey, man, just wanted to let you know I'm at the pickup and they are starting to load the truck. I will send you photos when they are completed. I said, perfect. He said, you're welcome. Guess what I got? Photos. And then, hey, man, I'll be on site at the receiver at 3:00. And then I let them know and the receiver know when the driver was going to be there. And they said, thank you very much for that. Again, you guys, like that's a standard thing for me. I'm going to do that in every single shipment that we move. And I'm going to notify all of them of that. So then the receiver's prepared and ready for when the driver arrives in that. And it's repeatedly doing this stuff every single shipment, you guys. You can't selectively do any of this shit. You have to operate this exact same way every single day. Like, again, I don't give a fuck what the market is. All right. I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to win. All right. That's my mentality, no matter what the market is. And I'm going to operate in this exact same manner every single time. No matter what. I do not believe that you can selectively be focused on the long term. You have to do it every single day and you have to abide by that. I hope that helped answer your question about what to do in that environment. And again, like I talk about an 8-step communication process that I have with carriers that we book on before we book with them on the load. Again, I want to find out, especially if I'm in the booking process, do you run this lane often? What is your equipment type? How many trucks do you have in the area? Do you have a drop yard or a yard in that the shipper or receiving city? What days of the week are you available? I want to find all of that information out on the front end. That's why all my driver friends who listen to this, if you're working with a broker and they are very short on this stuff, ask them these questions. Hey, how many times a week do you move this lane? Ask them questions. If they can't answer that shit, run for the hills. Because again, the right brokers that are out there, they have all these details and they can answer all of that stuff. Because again, I've never received a load before that didn't have product description, that didn't have load requirements, that didn't have a shipper or a receiver or any of that bullshit. I don't know why you fuckers make this job so much harder than you need to. Anyways, let me see here. Thomas Wiederin says, I preach relationships 24/7. Sonny Sharma says, if we don't take care of our carrier, someone else will. Amen to that. And he said, that's being said, that's why we use broker carriers so we can show our carrier base what lanes we run and when we need coverage. If you guys want to learn more about broker carrier, go to the website, hit it up, or else I can give you guys information about it. Because again, they're I'm a part owner of broker carrier. We've built what I would consider the number one capacity management platform for the industry. Because not only are we about helping our brokers, we are about highlighting the right carriers, right? Because everybody wants to talk double broker bad. No shit. Well, why don't we focus on the carriers who are doing the right thing repeatedly and get them more freight back to the core carrier base that's out there? I know that these guys are legit and they're doing the right thing, and I want to reward them with every piece of freight that I have. I understand the value of load boards, you guys. I truly do. But when you find the right carriers, reward those carriers, because when you take care of your drivers, they will fight tooth and nail for you and your customers. And Sonny Sharma says, or you can call me. I will gladly tell you about broker carrier. That's why I love Sonny. He's a great guy. Knows the industry very well. And he tunes in every single day. He's a big supporter of this. Thomas said, definitely struggled with finding that info out ahead of time and developing those relationships when I was a newer broker. Once I learned to develop better relationships, I made so much more money and won more freight. And that's what comes along with it, you guys, is the more you do the right thing, the more lucky you get. It's really weird. It's a really weird correlation, is that the more you do the right thing, the more lucky you get in business and all of that stuff. Last question I got was more of guidance on factoring and insurance. They want to know, who would I contact for factoring companies? And I want to have insurance, but I don't know where to start. I have a lot of people in my network, you guys, that I work with from an insurance standpoint. And again, I'm not paid by, my man Cam with Allied Insurance. He was on Wednesday. I always recommend people talk to him. I also recommend that people talk to Jamie Cannon over at Reliance Partners. I've met her. I've had breakfast with her and Graham. I know a lot of people who use them, so I know that they're legit. I've also had LoadSure. I know Johnny McCord. He's been on my show. I know Nathan. I know Jim as well, and I know that their product is very useful for a lot of people out there. That's why I want to put people in contact with the right people in that from an insurance standpoint. Because again, you guys, you truly need to have insurance. You really do. I know it's not required by law, but if you're a broker, you need to have insurance, straight up. When it comes to factoring, for example, I have had my friends over at OTR on the show a bunch of times, Jonathan McCormick, I've had him on there. I've spoken with my friends at Denim. They had an event here in Phoenix earlier this year. I went and spoke with them. They have a phenomenal program and platform for you to utilize as well from a factoring perspective. I've also talked and had my friends at Triumph Pay on the show as well. And these are legitimate companies that are out there, you guys. And I will always refer people into them, right? And I just want to put people in touch with the right companies. That's where I would start with that. And again, if you guys have any questions on this stuff, on who would you recommend, just DM me this stuff, you guys. I might not be able to reply right away, but I will reply with it. And I will always gladly put you guys in contact with the right people. Fortunately, on top of those individuals, again, I've been very fortunate to find advertisers for my content who believe in my mission and everything. And rest assured, I work with the right companies who are committed to changing this industry and moving the industry forward, just like I am. So VHub and Green Screens, I partner with them for a reason. You guys, they're committed to this long term. SPI Logistics, that's where my freight brokerage is through. I'm an agent with them. They're committed to this. They've been a long-time supporter of it. Ty Software, same thing. You need the right TMS. You need to hit up Ty with that. And then LoadSmart, hit them up as well. They're the RFP tool, the shipper software and everything that they have, they are committed to it. They have the right stuff out there, you guys. So it's one of those situations that I'm always going to pump the right people who are doing the right thing. And fortunately, I have advertisers that help make all of this stuff possible as well. And, on top of that, we're just committed to making this industry better at the end of the day. Troy Smithson, what is up? Let's fucking go, he says. But that's going to be it for today, you guys. Yeah, it's Friday. We'll be back on Monday. We'll be breaking down that news that happened on Monday. Again, I'm going to do some more research. I want to be better prepared for it. I don't just want to shoot from the hip, which is kind of my MO, but I don't like dancing on anybody's graves and celebrating anybody's loss at the end of the day. But we'll be back on Monday. And I do have one small favor to ask. If you guys got value, subscribe to the show out there on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. And then if you want to put it out there to your network, that would be great too, because if you see value in all of this, your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Have a great fucking weekend, and we will see you on Monday, and we will be talking to you soon.